AFL Today's round 23 preview is here. What do we touch on, lads?
I talk about why this week is a must-win for the Pies.
And with Nat Fyfe's retirement, is he the greatest docker of all time?
Oh, I think he is. Check it out right now. Welcome back to the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Stockhead, here for all things round 23. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. We've got the two guys on the couch. Marcus is back for the previous show, as is Leo. How you going, lads?
Oh, not bad. It's good to have Marcosa back.
Oh,
in the
thank you.
Well, he was here on the rap show.
Yeah, you've seen him enough. You've seen him enough. Are you
That's
excited,
true.
Marcus?
Too many times, yes. I'm very excited to get into this week.
No, very nice. Another awesome show as we delve into all the matchups, tips, stats, debates, locks, and big calls. We've had a lot of debates before the show about the big calls. Are you guys past that, or you're all good? Yeah, I don't know if they are. This will be very interesting, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So subscribe and hit the notifications bell as well. It goes a really long way. Which on the way to 1 million subscribers. We've almost at the 10K subscribers.
When's
That's our
this
next
joke
goal.
going to die?
I don't know.
When is this joke? Please die.
Yeah, we're almost at 10K subscribers, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow AFL Today AU across X, TikTok, Instagram, and on Facebook. It is actually Aussie Rules Today. And of course, get this wherever you get your podcast platforms. Let's get right into it, lads. Round 23 previews. Friday night footy. There's two games on Friday night. Don't know about that one, but we'll touch on that. Essendon St Kilda is the first one. Friday night, 7:20 at Marvel Stadium. The only game you should be watching on Friday night is this absolute banger, Leo.
Absolutely. It's a barn burner, this one. Get the TV on. Now, look, I actually want to start a bit off field with the Saints here. There's been a lot of speculation surrounding them this week, especially how they handle this upcoming off-season. The media's just gone a bit crazy. They've got them signing TDK for 1.8 mil a year, Harley Reid for 25 million over 12 years, Lee Kalia as well, and they're going to lose, Nass, Windhager, Steele, Marshall, Wilkie. Like, can the media just get a bit fair dinkum? Like, what's going on?
Let's need to chill.
They're
Let's
going to
chill.
be able to field a team
Well,
with all those outs.
What are you talking about? St Kilda or Essendon?
Both, yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get to
very
Essendon.
true, very
So
true.
I love this from Ross. He just said, no, I'm going to put my Glock on the table and I'm going to set
You said Glock, right?
I said Glock and I'm just going to set the record straight. He went on Footy Classified and he said he hasn't spoken to Harley Reid, and he actually got a call from Callum Wilkie saying, I love the Saints. I want to be a part of the Saints. And he also said he's excited to have the problem when it comes to signing Nass.
That's a lie.
And that it's just business if you leave. So what do we make of all that, boys?
I feel like a lot of St Kilda fans would be excited if Nash just signed right now instead of
Yeah.
the discussions, in all honesty.
That's a very good call. I think in terms of Harley Reid, because he said, I didn't speak to Harley Reid, doesn't mean someone else in the club, the list manager or someone else, might have spoken to Harley Reid. He's very smart.
But the
with his
report
words.
was that Ross did. So he was just trying to
That's true.
Yeah.
There was a few things that I respect Ross for going on the show. I don't always respect Ross in the way he goes about his footy, but the way he went on the show and just, yeah, as you said, put his Glock down. There we go. I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, it's what a coach needs to do. He needs to be firm and needs to get the message out to his fans what's going on. Now,
Especially needs to be firm if he's putting his Glock on the table.
exactly. On the game of football at hand. The Saints have won the last three, albeit by a total of 19 points, but they still won them. And the Bombers haven't won since round 11.
Oh.
Dream time.
Dream time.
Yes.
That was a dream time for the Bombers to win for you, wasn't it?
Oh,
It
wow.
was.
Great
Yeah,
work.
but that was terrible. And Essendon, they could make history. They could be the first team to ever field their entire list, not just this year, but over the cumulative past couple of years.
Yep.
Zarrett's out with a hand injury. Shields missing a week for suspension. I think you mentioned Archer May's also out.
With an ankle injury, yes.
So you got Reece Unwin and was it Cale Guerin?
Yeah,
What are you boys
there we go.
doing? there could be a bomb dropped on this place and they still won't get a game. It's time to just play them. What's going
play 'em.
on?
Just play 'em.
They would, every AFL listed player, there could be a time this weekend, the VFL, where not a single AFL listed player is playing.
That is brutal.
You're just going back to... Did you have a VFL affiliate team way back when?
No, it was the Bombers.
Oh, never mind then. So
It was Windy Hill, yeah.
they're generally, yeah, as you said, no AFL players on the VFL list, which is crazy. I think this game will be very low scoring. Bombers have the second worst offense and the Saints have the 11th ranked offense. So I'm hitting the unders on this one. And there's a matchup that could play a part in that, Marcus.
There certainly is. Jaden Nguyen, he's in the Vietnamese team of the century, he likes to say.
There you go.
Yeah, I
in the
did
off-season,
see that
so he did
podcast.
see that. Yeah, from an unnamed podcast, which we won't mention. And his matchup on Jack Higgins, because he has done very well in his first two games against Tom Papley and Tyson Stengel. only kept them to one goal, not even each, just combined, those two. Stengel goalless, obviously. And Higgins, he always plays well against the Bombers. The Bombers struggle against small forwards. And Higgins has his best goal record against the Bombers compared to any other club.
Yep.
So Newen looks like he has a job in his hands.
Yeah, that'd be a good fun matchup. Tips and margin, lads.
Saints by 7.
Saints by 20.
20. I was tempted to tip the Bombers because the Saints, they've only just got over the line against North and Richmond. I'll go by the Saints by 6. I think it'll be a close one, as Leo said, and pretty low scoring. All right, there's another game on Friday night. This one is a barn burner. Fremantle versus Brisbane, Friday night, 8:20 at Optus Stadium. Freo, they're going to have a sellout again at Optus Stadium, which is what we want to see.
Not only is it going to be a cracking game, but there's also going to be a little bit of awe about it because Nat Fyfe obviously announced his retirement. He's retiring. And boys, I want to run through his career highlights and his stats, and I want you to say if he's the best ever docker to play the game.
Okay.
You don't even need to do that. He is.
He is?
100%.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
It's
go
either-
on,
it's still
go
doing
on,
because I love
go
a bit of
on,
Nat
anyway.
It's
Fyfe.
either him or Pav, isn't it,
Music
really?
to my ears.
Him or
this.
Pav. Or,
245 games, 178 goals. Fremantle captain, obviously, for quite a while.
Yep.
2 Brownlow medals. 2 Lee Matthew trophies, 2014-15, which is AFL Players
of the Year.
Association Player of the Season.
Yep.
Yes.
3 All-Australians. 3 Best and Fairest at the Dockers as well. Jim Stein's medal and a Rising Star nominee in 20.
And he's good looking.
And he's good looking.
Yes.
Loves
Yes.
the beat.
Yes.
the
He's
most
From
important
Fremantle as
thing.
well.
That is.
No, that's the worst thing.
He's
So-
definitely the best docker.
That's pretty good reading for the best docker of all time.
Absolutely.
A couple of these could enter that discussion come the end of the careers that I'm about to mention.
Really?
Brayshaw and Sarong. They could. It depends what they win. They could win a Brownlow potentially in the
Norm
future.
Smith.
But we're yet to see them have top games at the same time, like consistently at least.
Yeah, it's weird.
For the very least. The last time they both had a top game at the same time was when they played the Bombers in round 16, where they both had 30 plus and
Is that
goal
a bad
each.
thing, though?
It's not a bad thing as long as one does the job and you get the win in the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't
And
matter.
when we say they're not dominant, like the other guy might still have like 23. Like they're still solid.
still have 23.
But not 30. Yeah.
And then, but the likes of what I'm liking to see from Sarong in particular, I love goals in midfield, boys. You know, I like that.
Yes.
That's what premiership teams are made of. And Sarong has started to add that into his game in the second half of the season. Moving into finals, I think that is great viewing. It was highlighted with his Goal of the Week nomination. Check that out on the socials where
Yes.
you and Social Girl Alessi.
Yeah, the new girl.
New Girl Alessi. Watch those. Now, all from the same game, which was
Yeah,
funny,
which
Port
is weird.
Fremantle, which was a little bit weird. But in saying that, the midfield battle with those Brisbane midfielders, Dunkley, McCluggage, the Ashcroft twins, they're not twins, the Ashcroft brothers. They're not
They
twins.
definitely
I hope
do not- are not twins.
Otherwise, they'd be lying on there.
yeah.
Bit of controversy around that. But Brisbane, they did well against, despite losing to Sydney, they almost doubled them in the clearances. It was
Yeah.
40 to 21.
that's
So they
crazy.
actually did a job in the middle there. So it will be an interesting contrast playing against Sydney's attacking midfield with the likes of Heaney, Warner versus Freo's defensive midfield with Sarong and Brayshaw.
Yeah, I love this midfield.
Yeah, that'd be really
It'll
good.
be so good to watch.
Will be elite. But the Lions, they've been hit with the injury bug in defence. 5 defenders out, 4 of which were in the starting 6 for the grand final last year.
That's brutal, isn't it? Yeah.
Heading into finals, that is pretty brutal. And games that they need to win if they want to secure that top 4. And look, Freo's forward line is firing much more than Sydney's is. Like arguably Sydney's is, that you can say at the moment. Obviously, Tracy
A lot of that
and
is
Nis
from midfield, though, for Sydney.
True, yeah.
and Voss, and a lot of the goals that Sydney get are from midfield. But Leo, Brisbane
Hello.
have responded well after a loss, haven't they, this season?
Brisbane are
Can
just
they do it
weird.
again?
They're just weird. So they lost to the D's at home. Then they beat the Hawks at the G. They lose to GWS at home. They beat the Cats at Goomba.
Yes.
They lose to the Suns. They get belted by the Suns. And they beat the Pies at the G. So they lose to the Swans at home. Beat Freo at Optus? Question mark.
Leo, I got a stat to back you up as well. They've won 75% of their matches this season as underdog. So, and they've actually had a fair few games as underdog because they've had a very roller coaster season. Last couple of seasons, you go, oh, they wouldn't be underdog that many times. But I'd say like almost 40% of their games have been underdog.
Yep.
And they've won 75% of them. So happy days.
But that means why you boys are tipping them. But I'm going against you. I'm going the Dockers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the Dockers by a couple goals. I just think at home, they got the momentum, and it's a game of occasion now. Then that fight,
it is.
It's a game of emotion. So I think they'll send him out on a high.
Will they be trailing at 3/4 time again and come back?
Tactically.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, don't mind that, Lions by 11. This is just going to be a classic Brisbane win this year, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon this is going to be an awesome win for the Lions. Lions by 10 points. And as we mentioned on the Sunday show, the Freo Dockers have had so many close games. I don't think there's any chances of going more than 2-goal margin either way.
This is going to be a good one, but not better than Saints Bombers.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Exactly right.
Saturday is the next one. Gold Coast versus GWS. Saturday, 12:35 at People's First Stadium. Finally, this is the AFL's dream, lads. Both the expansion teams are fighting in the top 8. They're fighting for the top 4. The Suns can obviously make the top 4. But in this matchup, the Suns really need to lift. They've only won one of the last 15 matches against GWS. One of the last 15. I didn't even think that was possible. But are they locked in for the top 4? This is what I wanted to ask you guys. Or even the top 2? They've got Port and Essendon still to come.
Yeah, the game in hand is handy.
The game in hand against Essendon, you just lock in 4 points. If you're looking at the ladder, we do on the Sunday show. What do you reckon?
I do fancy them for the top 2. I think the footy gourds, some results will go their way. I've got, no spoiler, but I've got Collingwood, Adelaide, and Fremantle losing, I believe. Do I have Adelaide losing? No, I don't have Adelaide losing.
Adelaide are playing Collingwood.
I'm not sure. They are.
It's a draw. I'm not sure.
Collingwood losing, Geelong losing, and Brisbane losing. There we go. We got there in the end.
Okay.
There we go.
So I think there is a chance that they can finish top 2.
Are we confident in top 4 though, Leo?
I think they're going to get top 2. Genuinely.
Yeah, so
I think
do I.
they win out here and they get top 2.
Lock the key, throw it away.
Yeah.
Top 4.
I just love how you're saying top 2 or top 4.
Yeah,
then
we'll get to his
tips.
tip.
That's very funny. Well, we'll get into that after. The midfield superstars, as we mentioned in that last game, head-to-head here are absolutely awesome. You got Tom Green and Callahan versus Matt Rowell and Noah Anderson, all average over 26 disposals and 5 clearances, just Rolls Royces galore.
We talked about, sorry to cut you off, we talked about the midfield battle last game in Brisbane, Freo being awesome. This is just equally awesome.
I think this is better. This is absolutely better. Yeah, this is better. This is better, I reckon. But I am worried about the Giants' depth in this one against strong midfields. I think Leo mentioned this on the Sunday show, but they've had losses to Freo, Dogs, and Port, who, when they've all been healthy, they have really, really good quality midfields, and they're all pretty bad losses. You've got O'Halloran, I think he's building, Xavier O'Halloran in the midfield, so I'm not too worried about him. But then you got Cornelio. Alex brought him up on last week's show. He looks off the pace a little bit. He's only had 20 plus disposals once this season. And the 2 of the last 3 games, he's had 20 plus centre bounce attendances. I don't think he should be those numbers. He's a pretty good goal sneak as well.
Yep.
I'd rather keep him forward. But do they have anyone else in their side that can just go into that midfield? Because a lot of them are small forwards or they've got a few injuries.
Kelly's been in and out of the side this year.
Jake Stringer's obviously injured in this one, but he used to go in the midfield, but he's been kicking goals, so you want to keep him forward. Is anyone else can rotate in there?
Well, so you mentioned O'Halloran and Cornelio. Those two have sort of been making up that third midfielder with their CBA numbers.
Yeah.
I think it's been Ralston, who was sub last week, who had the next most as a midfielder with 5 CBAs. Yeah. And then you're looking at Darcy Jones and Toby Green with 3 or 4. So it is really light on, and I think that's an area that the Suns can challenge. If you got Humphrey or Took Miller going through there, quality players, they can really exploit that. No discredit to O'Halloran and Cornelio, but I just think that Suns are a better level.
Yeah, if you're looking for that man, I think Toby Green's the way to go.
Even the Suns' depth as well. You got Fiorini who stepped up and did a job. Missing another midfielder they had the other week as well. That's right. They just named
Davies.
Davies. That's exactly what it was.
Jeez, just got that one out.
One of us would get that. Alex Davies just stepped up and did a job, whereas I'm not sure if the Giants have that depth. In terms of the offense, 4th versus 5th offense in this one, which is absolutely really, really good fun. I mentioned before that Jake Stringer sadly out for the Giants with a hammy 3 to 4 weeks. They said on their injury list, he's averaged over 2 goals in the last 10 weeks. He's been absolutely awesome. So you take that out. I'm a bit worried about the Giants in this one. And the other end, Ben King is absolutely firing. Second in the Coleman. Do we think he should be an All-Australian this season, lads? Ben King.
I think so.
Yeah?
What do you think, Marcus?
No, I probably don't have him in.
Why is that?
No, because I just have a 4. There's a lot of good half forwards and forward pockets that I wouldn't mind being in there, and I already have probably 2 talls.
Who's your second tall?
Ahead of him as well. I'd have, obviously Jeremy Cameron and Thriller.
Oh, we will touch on that later as well, which is interesting.
But it's just, I feel like Ben King's second in the Coleman, game in hand. Like
the only other thing about Ben King, everyone's very behind Jezza. So is that another argument to say you should just have
Jezza's already
Jezza?
got the lock though in the All Australian team. I think you got to reward Ben King. He's been more consistent than the forwards below him, and I'd honestly play a third key forward.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can touch on that because we've got a few more All-Australian debates coming up. Tips and margin in this one, lads. I'm going to go the Suns by 10 points. I think it's going to be a really good game because the Suns don't have a very good record, but they'll turn it around here.
Suns by 6.
Giants by 6.
Oh, like this doesn't make any sense.
How does Suns make top 2 then?
No, trust me, boys. This is
Here we
my
go,
thinking.
Keep tracking
Because the
this
Giants
one.
are the best team that AFL has ever seen. So I've
Well, they're not.
got to support them.
Okay.
Back them up.
Okay.
That's why I'm tipping them. And then if I'm wrong, Gold Coast will finish in the top 2 anyway. So I'm right either way. I'm doing a Leo.
You just look like a mug.
I'm doing a Leo.
Yeah, but you could very easily be wrong either way.
That was Leo earlier in the season. But either way, I'm right. Gold Coast win, top 2.
way I'm
Giants win. Certified
Mate,
best team
he's a
that AFL's
mug.
ever
Let's
seen.
move
He is a mug. Next
wrong?
game, well, you could be wrong. We will be tracking this over the next couple of weeks because if they, I'm rattled by that statement there. What are you talking about? Carlton versus Port Adelaide. Let's get into this one. Saturday at 1:20 at Marvel Stadium. Leo, interesting one.
Is this Ken's audition for the Carlton coaching job? What do you think? Is he
like
gonna, with Josh Carr taking over, Vossi, on a knife's edge? Could Ken just be like, I'm gonna smash it by 10 goals and make me a coach? Now, look, in all seriousness, I think this game is all about figuring out who's in each side's best 22 come round 1 in 2026. We'll start with the Blues and look at a few plays in recent weeks. Frank the Tank last week was superb with 4 goals. He was by far their most dangerous small forward, but can he back it up? Is he a long-term prospect for him? Then you look at guys like Fogarty, Motlop, White. At different stages have shown us something. I think White probably out of those 3 has shown me the most. But are they a part of this small forward setup? Because if I'm being honest, it leaves me a little bit uninspired. Looking at that small forward sort of combination.
Yeah, where's it? Oh, he's bring him back.
He's actually fallen off the face.
Yeah,
of
he's
the
fallen
earth,
off
mate.
his
Well,
arse.
they've got WW. Why not bring in Jesse Pinkman and these sorts of guys? Give them a game.
Oh, Walter White. It's a Breaking
Bad reference.
Yeah.
I did know that, even though I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
also,
That's criminal, by the way.
I haven't watched it and I knew the reference.
Oh, he loves Breaking Bad.
What's the correct role for Ollie Hollins in this one? Because I feel like he's played wing, he's played half back,
He's a
played
winger, I
half
reckon.
forward. I think he's a wingman too, but his ball use needs work. So do you maybe utilise that in another area of the ground? I'm not sure.
On the
We've got to
bench.
figure that out.
He's one of the best runners in the competition in terms of distance covered per game.
Yep.
So you got to keep him on that wing position,
I think on
somewhere
the
where he
wing,
can
yeah.
track the ground really well. Because half back, not really, and half forward, I don't
Does
think
he
you get the
defend
influence out
enough?
of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. Then we look at Port Adelaide, and there's guys like Josh Sin and Jed McEntee who, are they a part of their future plans? Because I need to see more from both of them, particularly Sin, who was a top 10, top 15 pick in his draft year. And to be honest, he hasn't shown to be the greatest ball user or greatest defender as of yet. So is he a part of their team next year? You got to work this stuff out,
This is
guys.
interesting.
Come
Let us
on.
know
There
in the
could be some
comments.
outgoings and ingoings. You never know. You might see Butters leave, and what they get for Butters, they could get Nass
Another
for.
Josh Sin.
No,
That's 2 ends of the spectrum
You
right
just
there.
triggered Port fans everywhere.
I do want to give a big sort of plaudit to Ollie Wines in the last, I reckon, month or so. He's been in great recent form, still showing value to the side, and I think that's important for them next season.
Lego head.
Just the legal head. He's a defensive cog to let the other guys go out and be their attacking selves. He's been putting up some good numbers. So with all those things considered, which team would you want to coach starting next season, boys?
Ooh. Which team would I want to coach? Probably Port Adelaide.
I was going to say, why the hell did you hesitate?
I don't
there?
even think it's
Probably
a
Port
question.
Adelaide.
I think Port
Oh, it
Adelaide can make the
depends.
finals next year, whatever coach they have.
I think it depends what sort of happens in the trade period as well, because Carlton, obviously, they're rumoured to have quite a few outgoings, similar for Port Adelaide and ingoings as well.
I think Carlton have a lot
Port
more
Adelaide.
list holes.
Yeah, just say they like TDK stays around, Kerno stays around. They've both been in very average form. I'm leaning towards Port because they've shown more, especially the game last week showed me a lot. You've got enough forwards, enough backs, and enough mids, even if Butters goes to still have a decent year.
Yep.
But the big question for me is, who has the rougher head, Ollie Wines or Ken Hinkley?
Probably Ken Hinkley.
Ken's a bit older. He has no
Could be
hair.
Ken.
Ollie Wines has hair, so
The hair's a big factor.
I think Ollie Wines is all
Who has
right.
more aura?
This man right here, Georgiades. I'm big on Georgiades in this game. 19 goals from 6 games against the Blues, which is the most of any side he's played against.
Interesting.
And the Blues the last 3 weeks have gone 6 goals to Ben King, 9 goals to Voss, Tracy and Amos.
Oh, they kicked 27 between them.
Yes. 7 goals to Gunston, Lewis, and Deere. Use your brain. It's combined. So I'll touch it more on it in my big call, but I think Georgiades has a big say in a Port Adelaide win, and I reckon they win by under a goal.
Under a goal.
Big Port Adelaide win, but under a goal.
You can have a big win by under a goal.
Oh, true. They aren't
Like big
favourites for this one.
spiritually.
They're
Okay,
outsiders
okay,
in this one, so I'm going to go the favourites. Carlton, I just think at
Boring.
home, will do the job. 10 points.
Oh, I'm going to bring up Port's record at Marvel later in my big call, and that is why I'm tipping Port by 35 points. I think Port Adelaide should be the favourites in this one. If you watched both teams last week, Port played so well, should have beaten Freo. So I'm going to go Port by 35, and I'll touch on more of that in my big call. Hawthorn Melbourne is Saturday over here, 4:15 at the MCG. We've talked about the Hawks 4 tools, Marcus, and have you liked it?
I have. It seemed to be working because they demolished Collingwood last week. But let's ask the resident Hawthorn fan, Leo.
He's got his Hawks scarf.
You play with the 4 tools. You have to be invested in it now if you're going to lead up into finals with it. Have you liked what you've seen?
I did in the Collingwood game. I'm still not sold on it. I think Sam's testing it out fair enough. He's sticking to his guns, and I think if they're all in his best 23, he wants to play them. I just don't know if it's going to work.
It's because they're all they're good players, all 4 of them. So it's like, do we drop him?
Hang on the record, Stats Guy just called Chol a good player.
No, I've said it before.
Okay.
I think he is. He's
the
a
only
great
problem
pressure.
is they've been subbing out one of the tools every game since they've brought the 4 tools in.
Why is it D though?
If you get an injury to any other player, you're going to have to keep those 4 tools on the ground towards the end of the game. And if conditions don't suit, perhaps it's just a condition play. But the tool matchup I'm really looking out for, it isn't in that Hawks tool forward line. It's actually the ruck battle between Lloyd Meek and Max Gawn.
Meek, sorry.
Lord Meek.
King Gawn.
Can Gawn get meeked? We don't know. These were the 2 best ruckmen last week.
No chance.
Meek was obviously the best. So you reckon Gawn will come out on top? How big of an influence will that play in the game? Or will Meek keep it respectable?
If Gawn can hit the scoreboard, I think it could have a big influence on the game.
Yeah, because Meek obviously got 3 goals.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, honestly?
I don't think Meek knows, mate.
Gawn, he does hit the scoreboard a little bit more. So, I think he could kick a goal.
Yeah, but one of these things that is comparable between the 2 sides is the defence.
Yep.
Because in Melbourne, obviously, it's very inexperienced. There's no May, there's no Lever. And Tom McDonald and Trent Rivers are the only players in that defence. Well, they're starting 6.
I think May's back.
May might be back?
Yeah,
from the starting 6 from last week.
Okay.
Only McDonald and Rivers were played over 100 games.
Yep.
And their average age was 24 years of age.
It's my
With
age.
McDonald being 32, who's skewing that age up a little bit. So there are some inexperienced players in there versus Hawthorn, who are very settled. They average 161 games across that back 6.
That's crazy.
Which is more than 5 of those 6 players that the D's pulled out in their starting defence last week.
I love that little stat.
Makes me feel a bit comfortable knowing that you got a bit of experience.
I think you need experience in the back line more than anywhere else. Would we agree on that?
Yeah, out of every area.
Yep,
definitely.
100%. But Clary, he was the one who tagged Newcombe in that last game.
Yes.
Obviously, the Hawks ended up winning that by about 5 goals, but up until that last quarter, it was actually anyone's game. And Clary did a good job with Newcombe. Newcombe finished with 19 disposals, but Clary finished with 13 himself. So, did you get the best out of that? Obviously, not having Clary's impact in the middle, but also limiting Newcombe's. Do we see that again? And Leo, is that something that can shake up the Hawks' sort of structure if Newcombe... Well, I'm not going to say get tagged out of the game, but if he does get tagged and has a limited impact.
I think Melbourne would be crazy not to do this again. You saw what Newcombe can do to sides when he played against Collingwood last week. He was one of the main guys in the midfield. With no Will Day, you stop him, you can pretty much stop any influence our midfield has. And as you said, it worked for 3 quarters last time we played. And if you think back to that game, Melbourne should have been well in front at 3/4 time. They missed some very gettable chances, and Hawthorn were able to turn it on for 1 quarter. Like, you can't really get away with keep on doing that every week. You know what I mean? So I think they're crazy not to do this again. It would 100% stifle Hawthorn's midfield.
Yeah, but you've noticed something, Liam, on the Melbourne front that has sort of been an area of concern for you. It's picked your brain a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if I'm going crazy here, but Cozzy, I don't know if he's a little bit unfit. He's got a 6-pack, he's got good muscles, but I just don't know why. You look in the last I'd say the last month, the clutch moments of the game, he's either deep forward, he's on the bench like that game against St Kilda and they weren't getting him back on the ground.
Against the Dogs he was.
Against the Dogs last week, it was a 6-point game in the clutch. I want Cozzy in the midfield. You're paying him $1.7 million a year. Get yourself in the midfield, but maybe he's not fit enough. I don't know if I'm the only one that's recognised this. I think you sort of did as well, Leo, but it just doesn't seem to run out games. And you look in the clutch moments of the game and they're not putting him as much in the midfield Whereas that's exactly where they need him because Petrarca hasn't been as consistent. Clary hasn't been as consistent. Cozzy is their most consistent player. So chuck him in there. But I don't know. I'm a bit worried about him because I don't know if
your $1.7 million players on the ground and not on the bench in those clutch sort of moments.
So I'm going to track that for the next couple of weeks and see if that's actually a thing.
Definitely one to watch.
Because I'm a bit worried about him.
But in Melbourne, there are some positive signs. They played well the last couple of weeks and have the potential to shake things up because they do play finals opponents to end the season. In saying that, do you boys think that they're going to cause an upset here against the Hawks?
I don't. I think Hawks by 4 goals. I think if Melbourne are any chance, it's on that man, Cozzy, and the midfield to have an absolute blinder.
I think they lifted last week. I don't know if they can do it 2 weeks in a row. I reckon Hawks by 30 points. I think if they can smash the Pies by that much, they can have a pretty handy win against the D's.
I'm going to go Hawks 3 goals.
3 goals? Oh, a bit closer. Yep. There we go.
Like it.
Hey, Leo, quick question. Do you know what the ASX means?
Do you mean AFLX?
No, mate. The ASX, the Australian Stock Exchange.
Oh, man. I'm absolutely clueless with that stuff.
Well, lucky for you, Stockhead is a free website that gives you everything you need to know about punting stocks on the ASX.
Damn, that sounds pretty good. Where do I check them out?
Check it out via stockhead.com.au, and it's even easy for your little pea brain to understand.
Damn.
Adelaide versus Collingwood is the next one here. The game of the round, I'm calling it. Saturday night, 7:35 at the Adelaide Oval. It's always a thriller in this matchup. We've got thriller on the field. We've got a thriller matchup. The last 5 meetings between these sides have been decided by 10 points or less. No matter where they are on the ladder, just somehow this is a really close game. But the Pies always win. Those last 5 meetings and the last 10 meetings, the Pies have actually won the matchup, which is frustrating for Adelaide fans. So they really, really want to win here. But lads, are we genuinely worried about the Pies? They've lost 4 of the last 5 games, got absolutely smashed by the Hawks on the weekend. Are they still a threat in the finals as well?
Oh,
I am worried.
We're definitely worried. Let's put that out on the table.
Okay, yes.
But are they a threat in finals?
I think depends how they lose.
Not yet.
Depends how they lose this game. They could find themselves in an elim the way it's going.
Oh.
So
they could. They could, but I still think they could be a threat. Like
they still can be, obviously.
Deep.
Yeah.
I think they can go deep still. They got the experience. Yeah. They need to win this though.
That's
this
what I'm saying.
Is a must win.
Wait, so they need a win.
They need.
We're going to get into it.
They need to lose it.
We did mention did they peak too early, and now they're heading here. They have enough time to get that back on track.
They do. I think it starts with a win here. They have to win.
Yeah, all right. I guess they have to, but I don't think there's any chance they can, but we'll touch on that. The Pies,
they're 2 different things.
They're averaging just 63 points in their last 4 losses, which is a worry. They now face the number 1 defense in the league, headlined by Joshy Worrell. He's still on the All Australian bandwagon there.
Of course, back pocket, mate.
Yeah, very nice. No Jeremy Howe, obviously, this week went out with concussion. Lads, are we confident in Dan McStay to hold down the fort? Because he did go down in defence last week. Or are we going with Charlie Dean, who struggled a couple of weeks ago? What do we think?
He's
Charlie
Dean
Dean
in
versus
headlights.
McStay. What was that?
He's a Dean in headlights.
A Dean
like
in
that.
headlights.
That's good.
Okay.
Back in McStay down
Really?
back. Yeah.
That's a worry,
I don't
though.
like what I see from Charlie Dean.
I know, but I feel like he missed something in that forward line with McStay out of there.
What, 1 goal?
Yeah, 1 goal every 3 weeks.
It's just he's another aerial presence. Obviously, you've got Membry, who's a little bit higher up the ground. You got Myercheck in there. I just think it's another avenue, like a genuine goal threat. He might not kick a bag, but he is a genuine goal threat and he's good in the air as well. So I'd probably bring in Charlie Dean.
Oh, that's a big call.
How about this one? Darcy Moore forward. Drafted as a forward.
Yeah, but they don't have enough defenders.
Not against 3 Adelaide Tools.
Well, he has been out of form as well. Darcy Moore forward. He did do that once on Anzac Day, right? I believe.
I'm going negative.
But I think it's a rogue shout. It's a very rogue thing to pull when you need a game-winning.
I agree.
Like you have a game-winning match. Yeah, but that was for 1 moment of the game. Like
Alex Business.
It's just something.
It's something to think about. Let us know in the comments what you think about Collingwood's lineup. On Adelaide, you got to talk about thriller, as I mentioned before. Riley Thilthorpe is in unreal form. 3+ goals in 5 of his last 7 games. He's got the most goal assists of anyone in the top 25 in the Coleman Medal leaderboard. So he's just dishing them off as well. Him and Tex are right up there for goal assists, which is very good for Adelaide. He's a heavy favourite in terms of the odds to make the All Australian team, but we've had a bit of an argument over it. Does he deserve an All Australian jacket?
I've already said he does, and I think a big reason for that, not only is he kicking bags of goals, but like you mentioned, he's also getting those goal assists, which is probably why I do have him ahead of Ben King.
He's kicked like 10 less goals than Ben King, though.
Yeah, but the goal assists as well, you got to like everything around the ground.
How many goal assists Ben King had? Probably.
I just think Thriller's such a big game player. Like he's I just have him in there.
Is it just the beard that is convincing people?
Yeah, because he's scary, maybe. Yeah.
I think Thriller's definitely in the conversation for the third tall. I think it's Jezza, Ben King, and then Norton or Thriller. For the
Whereas, but Norton's got a few more goals. I think he's got like 5 more goals or so.
Goals are goals.
So it'll be interesting to see what they go off in the All Australian.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Just saying it, sorry to butt in, but Thriller does have Fogarty and Tex as well as the other key forwards
Norton has Darcy.
taking goals. Norton has Darcy, who's been injured for half a year, and Ben King, he's genuinely like the
only
tall forward in that forward line. So I think, you know what, more avenues for goal for them.
Round 1 to Marcus, I reckon. I genuinely believe that was a blip game for the Crows last week. They looked disinterested a little bit. The Crows fans in our comments were like, what the hell are we doing? They weren't even putting the tackling pressure that we've seen all season. But Rankin, he was awesome, especially in the second half. He ended up having his most centre bounce attendances for the season in this game with 18. I think if he's around that mark again, I would like to see 15 to 20 every week for Rankin in the middle. And would you guys like to see that?
He barely attended a centre bounce in the first half as well. So they predominantly all came in the second half. So yeah, get him in there. Bit of X factor in the midfield.
In terms of what you just said then, I think they underestimated the Eagles a bit of like, we don't need Rankin in the midfield. But as soon as they put him in there, that's when they started getting going. And I think his speed will be too much for the Pies. Now, Leo, you mentioned this on the Sunday show that outside of the Dakai or the Dacos boys, the speed in there isn't as prolific. So do we think Rankin can exploit that?
Yeah, I think he can. I'll be keeping a close eye on how Collingwood match up in the midfield here and whether or not they look to inject some speed into it. I don't know if McCreary or Hill are back.
I don't think so, yeah.
I think they are. They will be fit to play.
Oh, okay,
they're back in training, and I actually did see that.
They will be massive ins.
Massive ins. You did mention that as well. Yep. All right, tips and margin in this cracker of a game, Leo.
Crows by 3.
Oh.
Got to stick with the under 6 goal rule, under 5 goal. No, 5 point
10
rule.
point rule.
10 point rule.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Of the last 5 meetings. Marcus?
I'm going a bit more extreme here. I am a little bit worried about the Pies, and I think Adelaide can do something at Adelaide Oval. Crows 27.
I agree with you. I reckon this could be 20 plus is my sort of around the mark there because they're in much better form. The Pies are struggling. So, 20-point win for the Crows in this one. Sunday, fun day. We've got 3 more games to finish off here. North Melbourne versus Richmond. Sunday, 1:10 at Ninja Stadium in Hobart. This is a massive game for my Roos, Leo, isn't it?
Yes, and I was just charging up then because this game, I'm calling North Melbourne out here on this game. They do not just need to win. They need to win comfortably. I'm saying at least 5 goals.
Oh, so it's a loss.
Anything less than 5 goals, I'm personally ringing the AFL and saying take away the 4 points because they do not deserve it. It is time for North Melbourne to take things seriously and be taken seriously and actually smash a team around them. They are staring down the 6th straight year of a bottom 2 finish. I don't want to hear, we just need to win. It'll be good for the culture. No, it's not. You need to bloody win this game. Richmond, they've exceeded expectations. They don't care anymore. This is a free swing for them.
He's gained aura. Yeah.
He's done it. And Clark goes over there. He doesn't know where he is still. No, but you know what I mean?
Leo, sometimes with your North rants, I don't always agree, but I agree on this one. I don't think there's any chance that we're good enough to smash any team, let alone West Coast or Richmond. But you're right. In terms of the projection in the last 6 years, they have to show it. I just don't think it's going to happen.
This has to be domination.
You know what? Let's take a shot for every time Alistair Clarkson talks about inexperience in his press conferences.
And polish, and he mentions polish.
Jeez, are we going to do it? We'll do it before the Sunday show.
We'd actually be dead.
We might have to go.
Alex would be doing a solo show on AFL.
Because we're all dead from alcohol poisoning.
Look, and in saying that, I'm very keen on Richmond in this one.
Oh, wow.
Despite some injuries to their depth, I just think that the Tigers' backline can really restrict the North forwards with no Larky there. Because you look at who's going to kick North's goals? Is it Curtis?
Tremba, 3 goals against the Giants. He comes against Richmond. He goes, this is a lot easier.
Yeah, true. Don't mind it. But I just think as a system, I like the Tigers' backline over the North forward line. Where do you boys sit in this one? Because I think you're both going against me.
I think I am, but that's more because the home advantage being in Hobart. Yep. But I think North Melbourne, they have to win this, surely. They have to.
No, they have to win by 5 goals.
They have to.
Yeah, the Tigers very rarely play down there. So I agree they have to win by a big margin, but my Roos are just incapable of that, especially with Larky out. When Larky came back, it was so much better. Our team was so much better. Take him out, I'm very worried. So I'm going to go Roos by, I'm going to say 1 point because that's just what we do. And I'm going to be sweating all game. And I've just got no confidence, so I think we'll win, but it's just going to be by a single point.
I fancy North Melbourne to kick at least 80 points. I'm not sure if I fancy Richmond to do the same.
Really? I'm the opposite.
Without
With
Larky,
no
I
Larky.
don't know, yeah.
Like, I think Richmond have more avenues to goal.
I feel like North Melbourne can outscore Richmond. I think
I agree with that.
scoring front have been a little bit.
But Richmond's defense can hold them strong, I reckon.
A little bit.
And you know what? If North don't win by more than 5 goals, I might actually call the ground announcer and be like, "Do not play the song in that scenario," because they don't deserve it. They're not allowed.
They're not going back in the rooms and singing the song. They're just sitting down with the Gatorade.
Exactly. Sit around with the Gatorades. Get the people on the ground. They can take photos with them. But why would you?
All right. So, what is your tip? So, do you think North are going to win but by less than 5 goals, or do you think the Tigers are going to win?
Tigers by 15 points.
15.
I'm keen on Richmond.
On the Tiger train. All right.
Yeah, the Roos by 4 goals.
4 goals. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I'm by 1 single point. Let's get to the next one before I cry about North Melbourne. Sydney versus Geelong, Sunday, 3:15 at the SCG. This one, Marcus.
This is one of the games of the round, boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
sort of.
The head-to-head.
Yeah.
Sort of, but the head-to-head
Doesn't make
odds.
the top 3.
It's probably 4th, yeah.
Probably 4th. The head-to-head odds don't suggest it, but I think this could be a serious danger game for the Cats.
As do I.
I also concur.
Because the Saints, they haven't lost to Geelong at the SCG since 2019.
Really?
But Geelong did get a win at the SCG in 2020, but that was obviously during COVID. But we don't talk about that anymore, that COVID season. D's didn't win the flag.
Yeah, the D's fans talk about it.
They did beat the Lions there, Geelong, during COVID, as I mentioned. But the Swam, they've won the first quarter in all of their last 6 games.
Okay.
So you can actually find very good odds for that this weekend. But how important is it for Geelong to, sort of quiet down that SCG crowd and get on top early so Sydney don't create that momentum?
I'm not going to lie. I've been to the SCG. It's not that loud, but I do think they can quiet them down. Just they've got a better team. They're playing better. I know the Swans got a really good win, but I do think the Cats can do that. And from the start, they use their pace as well, and then they'll do that for 4 quarters.
And well,
what was that?
Tag. You're right.
It's the new segment. We go with the Sydney. We can't go a game of Sydney without talking about the tagging, the matchups. Who's going to go to who? So we created the segment Tag You're It.
Yeah, I love how
Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Now, James Jordan, obvious tag of Sydney. Where does he go? Holmes or Baz? Who would you rather tag?
Holmes.
I would say Holmes. He has more influence on the game, and especially for 4 quarters, because also James Jordan is really fit. He can keep up with him.
Just think slightly better ball user, Holmes.
And that too.
And we've got to keep an eye on the ton watch with Jezza. He's on 79. He's got 2 games plus finals. So will Malikan clamp down Jezza?
Yeah, Malik Clamp, 100%.
Malik Clamp.
I don't know. I think Jezza could still get off the chain a bit. And he kicked 4 goals 5 last week and we're disappointed. So I reckon he could at least get another 3 or 4 here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Braden Campbell, he does a job as sort of a defensive forward in that side for Sydney. Does he go to anyone in that Geelong defence? It's unlikely.
Yeah.
Could he go to a Humphreys? Could he go to a Guthrie?
I think Humphreys is underrated and Guthrie are both like a bit underratedly dangerous. But I don't think you need to tag them. Like, they're not that superstar level that you need to do.
Yeah, unless maybe you put him on a Holmes, maybe. And you put JJ on a Smith.
Double tag.
Possibly. Double tag. And another tag to finish off. Ocean Mullen. He's been one of the best taggers.
Oisin.
Sorry.
Oisin Mullen.
You guys are bad with your Irish name.
Sorry,
Neve?
Yeah, Neve. There we go.
Neve.
Yes.
Nim.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Well, who's he go to? Is it either Errol Goulden, Isaac Heaney? I doubt he'd go to Chad Warner, but out of Heaney and Goulden, who would you rather put the tag to? Obviously, Heaney's coming off another 20 plus 5 goal game, and Goulden, he's just an unreal disposal collector. He's a ball magnet, and he's got a good kick on him as well.
I'd actually put him on Goulden because I think Heaney can beat Mullen overhead. I think Heaney's overhead marking is second to none. I think Mullen, he's been a fantastic tagger, but that's just another area he has to deal with. Whereas Goulden, he's more run and carry type. Mullen's really, really disciplined at sticking with those type of players. But it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Could you see Tom Atkins possibly go to the other?
Yeah, I don't mind that call, actually.
Aggressive sort of tackling sort of role.
I don't mind Atkins actually on Chad Warner because if you put a real strong tackler on someone who has that speed to get away, that could really stifle Sydney's midfield.
There's fun matchups all over the ground here, and I just think it's a fun matchup in general, and I think it's going to be a really, really close game. I think it's going to be within the 10 points. But I'm going to go in favour of Sydney here.
Really?
Yeah, so am I, 14 points.
Really? This couch is a bit, I don't know, they're going a bit weird.
This couch. Are you going Geelong, eh?
I'm going the Cats. I actually didn't put in the run sheet, but I genuinely think the Cats will win this one. I think they've got a lot more depth, a lot more scoring power. I don't see, Sydney. Just say Geelong get to 110 points. No way Sydney are going to get to that. So I think the Cats will win this one.
The variety of tips this show has been first class.
It has been great, hasn't
Give yourselves a pat.
Yeah,
because this last game, there's no variety.
Yeah, if you want more Sydney Swans content, be sure to check out the True Bloods podcast that is also filmed in this studio, the #1 home for all Swans content. So check that out wherever you get your podcasts. All right, last game of the round, Western Bulldogs versus West Coast, the Westhoff, Sunday, 4:40 at Marvel Stadium. Justin Westhoff? I don't know. Is that what you were thinking? The Dogs could absolutely feast here, lads. Even though the Eagles had a great effort last week, 9-point loss to the Crows. The Dogs have won their 12 of their last 14 at Marvel Stadium, and when they win big. Their average winning margin this year is better than any other team. 54 points is their average winning margin this year, which is pretty incredible. Lads, are the Dogs a lock for the finals with the second best percentage in the comp? Are they a lock?
A lock? They're in 9th.
What's going on over here?
I was having a sleep with this game. This is
that's very disrespectful. No, they're not a lock for finals at all. I think they got to beat Fremantle last round.
Yes, okay.
Or do they lose this game? Because they have lost a very similar game before.
Weirdly, they did lose to the Eagles in 2023 at Marvel Stadium, so a bit of an omen as well. It was in round 23, same round, and it helped them get knocked out of the finals. Leo brought this up before the show.
It's going to happen again, and the Hawks are going to be locked in.
Yeah, he's just saying God. He's just saying that as a biased Hawks fan.
It went like that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
What I'm doing.
Tim Kelly in that one dominated. Jamie Cripps, that is, kicked 5 goals, but both players are a bit past it now, so I think that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, surely you agree on that one. And then in terms of the tips in this one, West Coast's average losing margin. I just want to touch on their home. So their home, they obviously had a really good game against, they played well against Geelong. They had a really good game against Crom last week. Yep. But their average losing margin at home has been 33 points. And then you jump to the away side, away from Optus Stadium, 55 points away from Optus, which is a little bit of a worry. Do we think it's going to be a huge margin in this one?
Yeah.
What,
99 points.
99? So not 100?
Yeah, not 100.
Okay.
Under the dome, this could be very, very dangerous. Yeah. So I think that Dogs midfield was just going to absolutely bully the Eagles midfield.
Yeah.
So how many points?
101.
101.
No, I'm going to go 85. I think in the last quarter, it will be like 80 points. And then the Dogs will be like Bont, Libba, Richards,
bench.
Darcy, bench.
Darcy, ruck.
Yeah.
No, not Darcy in the ruck. That'll annoy the crap out of me. There we go. So that's going to be a huge win for the Dogs. And that's all around 23 games covered. Let's get into the lock of the week and the big calls. Leo, what is your lock of the week?
Essendon versus St Kilda under 185 total points. Just two sides that just can't attack. They can't score.
I'm not going for the team that plays Essendon this week just to get the win?
No.
Oh.
Well, I feel like you'd
Saints is a worry.
I feel like you'd back me up in recent weeks that was a good lock against Essendon.
I'm not really going against you here because you've gone under total points, but I'm going for a goal scorer in that game, actually. I'm going Cooper Sharman. Yeah. I've been quietly impressed by his season. I think he's been one of St Kilda's best. Kicked 2+ in 4 of his last 5, and he's kicked a goal in 16 of his 19 matches this season. So he continues that form and kicks a goal.
I really like that one. I'm going with goal kicker as well. I mentioned him before, Thriller, 2+ against the Pies for Phil Thorpe. The Pies, we mentioned their defense is all over the shop, but you're bringing in Charlie Dean. You don't want to do that. And then maybe sending Darcy more forward, according to Leo. So Thriller 2+, I think that's an absolute lock in this one. Let's get into the big calls. A big call, Marcus. You're touching on the Dogs. You touched on them before.
I am. Well, I said they're going to have a big win, and I think they're going to kick a big score off the back of that. 160+ points they're going to kick. Woo. First time since round 11, 2022 they've done that, which was against the Weagles. So
let us know in the comments if that's a big call.
So Leo's
total points for the game is 179.
That stat backs him up. If they haven't done it since 2022,
that's a big call.
Then that line has West Coast kicking 20 points.
Yes. Yeah. That could happen. But Richmond only kicked 23.
There you go. That goes into my argument.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens here. I reckon that is a big call. I'll give him that one. Leo, what's your big call?
Georgiades kicks 5 goals.
Whoa. Hold on a second here. You're telling me a tall forward to kick 5 goals is a big call.
Paying $9.
Jeremy Cameron does it every week.
Compared to your like $6 anyway. Yeah, that's paying $9. Thank you very much.
Let's leave that here.
19 goals in 6 games against Carlton. Carlton been conceding a lot to key forwards of late. I think Georgiades has a massive game under the dome.
I like that. My big call, Port Adelaide to win by 30 plus versus Carlton. The last meeting was 50 points. They've got a lot of outs since then. And they're 11-2 at Marvel since 2020. They love Marvel. I think they should be favourites in this one. Carlton are dog crap. So what are we talking here? Port are going to win by 30 plus points. And they're going to roll into next season pretty nicely, like I mentioned before.
I think also let us know in the comments if that's a big call.
Boy, you didn't question it before.
Yeah, I was saving it for this point.
I was going to up it, but I don't want to do a Marcus.
Who has the least big call? Let us know in the comments.
There we go.
Ooh,
Maybe we won't count it if it's the least.
Oh, it's one of you two for sure.
Damn it, it's going to be me. That'll do us for the AFL Today Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube and follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's Cricket Today, AFLW Today, Hold All Tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers, Footy Form Guide, and then a new show out the gate is starting very soon, which is very exciting. Thank you very much to Brody behind the camera. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Marcosa.
Thank you, Status.
We'll see you Sunday to wrap up all things round 23. We'll catch you then on AFL Today.